Hello! Alright, so the purpose of this video is to basically show you how to model an exponential function by using this formula, f of x equals a times b raised to the x, but I'm going to give you a table of values, okay? So, if we're writing the most basic formula for an exponential function, we don't have to consider the horizontal shift or vertical shift of its parent function. So if you add something here, or like you add something, or even subtract. So what we have here. I'm not gonna have you guys solve for horizontal shift or vertical shift. We'll try to keep this as simple as possible. Okay, so given the following table, we want to write an exponential function. Okay, so I put some steps here, just so you can kind of see how this is done. So the first step that we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and find b. B in this case would be our common ratio, or in other words, that's our exponential growth or decay factor. Okay, so basically what we need to do with this is we need to look for a certain pattern between the y values. So you can see here, well, you would multiply by 3 to get to the next number. Another way that you can do this, you can look at the second number and the first number, and one way to just calculate b is just go 6 divided by 2. And 6 divided by 2 is going to be 3. Okay. Step 2 says we want to choose any x, y coordinate. So I'm just going to choose 1, 6. Okay. So x, y, I'm going to choose 1, 6. Okay. Third step. So now what we're going to do is we're going to try to solve for a using this formula. Just to keep things simple, I'm going to change this f of x into a y. So this is y equals a times b raised to the x. Okay. So I'm going to plug in y. Y is 6. A is our unknown. We need to solve for that. B is 3. And then x is 1. So we're going to raise this to the first power. Okay, well, re-raise to the first power is going to be 3. So this is 6 equals 3 times a, right? So now what we need to do is we need to solve for a. So divide by 3. So this cancels. And then we get 6 divided by 3 is 2. So a is 2. Okay, so now we know what a is. So a is 2. B is 3. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to create an equation in this form. Okay, so our answer is f of x equals, so a is 2, b is 3, and we're raising that to the power of x. And that's it. That's basically how you would go ahead and create an exponential function equation. Okay, let's go ahead and look at a few more examples to see how the rest are done as well. Alright, so let's go ahead and look at another example. Okay, so again, our general formula is going to be f of x equals a times b raised to the power of x. Okay, so first what we want to do is we want to find a common ratio. So you're looking for a pattern between the y values. Okay, so if I look for a common pattern between the y values, well, it looks like we're going to divide each of the numbers by 2. Or in other words, we would be multiplying each of these consecutive numbers by a half. Right? So that's b. That's one way you can do that. Or what you can do is, if you realize there's that pattern, just take this number divided by this number. Okay? So 8 divided by 16 is going to be a half. Okay? Next step, then we need to choose any point on the table. I'm going to choose this one. Okay? So let's go ahead and just choose that one. Okay, so let's see. So I need to just write that. We're going to choose 1, 16. Okay. Third step, we're going to substitute b and our point, and we need to solve for a. So again, f of x equals a times b raised to the power of x. So f of x, I'm just going to replace that with a y. So y equals a times b raised to the power of x. Okay. Y in this case is 16, so I'm just going to place 16 here. A is our unknown. We don't know what that is. B is 1/2. And then x is 1. So raising this to the power of 1. Okay? Well, 1/2 raised to the power of 1 is just 1/2. So this is 16 equals 1/2 times a. Or in other words, what we can do is we can put the a on top for the numerator. this is basically a divided by 2. Okay. Now what we can do in order to get a by itself, yc, we can just multiply by 2. So 2's cancel. 2 times 16 is going to be 32. That's a. All right. Last step, we need to create a new equation. So we know that a is 32, b is 1/2. Okay. So if we're using that formula, f of x equals a times b raised to the power of x. So basically what we have here, a is 32, b is 1/2, and we raise that to the power of x. And there we go. That's basically how we would create our exponential function equation. All right. Hello. All right, so let's look at our final example. Okay, so if you guys kind of saw a pattern with the other examples, basically what we need to do is we need to find our common ratio b. So one way we can do that is we can take the second number divided by the first number for the y values, and that's going to be b. So just 6 over 9, reduce 6 over 9, and that's going to be 2/3. So basically what that says is to get to the next number, you have to multiply by 2/3. To get to this number, you multiply by 2/3. To multiply by this number, to get the next number, you multiply by 2/3. And then you multiply by 2/3. Okay, step 2. Now I want to choose any point on the table. I'm just gonna choose, I'll choose this one just for fun, 3, 6. So x, y, and we have 3, 6. Okay. Step 3, we need to substitute b and our point, and we need to solve for a. So again, f of x, we're gonna just change that to a y just to help us out. Y equals a times b raised to the power of x. Y is 6. A is unknown. B is 2/3. Okay. And then x, we're raising this to the power of 3. Okay. So now what we need to do, so we have to do 2/3 times 2/3 times 2/3. So recall, if you multiply this out, for the numerators, you multiply it straight across. 2 times 2 times 2 is going to be 8. 3 times 3 times 3 is going to be 27. Okay, so now what we have here is 6 equals, and then a times 8 over 27. To help us out, I'm going to put that a in the numerator. Okay, so this is 6 equals 8 times a divided by 27. Okay, now this just becomes an algebra exercise. So we're going to multiply by 27, and I'm not sure what that is at the very moment. So I just need to pull up a calculator. Let's hope this works. Okay, so 27 times 6. Okay, that's going to be 162. So this is going to cancel. So 162 equals 8 times a. I'm running out of room. I'm just going to put this up here. So 162 equals 8 times a. And in order to solve for a, we need to divide by 8. So I'm going to take 162 and divide that by 8. Okay, so that's going to be 20.25. Okay, 20.25. So that's going to be a 20.25. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to create a new equation. Okay, so we know that a is 20.25, b is going to be 2/3. Okay, so if we create our formula, so f of x equals a times b raised to the power of x. So we have here is a is 20.25, b is 2/3, and we're raising that to the power of x. And there we go. That is basically how we would create our equation. Okay, and that's basically it. Okay, so please let me know if you have any questions on anything. Okay, bye-bye.